One spot. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning, fifth graders. This is our final town hall tea. And we're gonna do a little lesson. There's not gonna be an activity or anything, but just wanted to thank you all first for letting me into your classrooms, teachers especially. I know time is super short. This has been kind of a dream of mine, and you really helped me to bring it to fruition. I love this stuff. I miss my days with my fifth graders, and so you've really filled my bucket in that way. So,
Starting.
students, we are going to I'm going to read you a book. I don't know if you've read this book before, but hopefully when we read it, you can see yourself in the main character. Sometimes when we're 10 and 11, we don't realize the power of our voice. We don't realize that we can make a difference. And so all this talk about politics and all this talk about knowing the issues, it doesn't seem very real, but you have an amazing power that I'm hoping that you will use for good, not evil. Okay, let me share the screen and we're going to read a story together. So get comfy, take everything off of your desk, put away your distractions. I know there's a lot going on. Take a minute to center yourself. Everybody relax. All eyes on the screen. It'll be short, I promise. So our book is called, ooh, not the email. It's called Sofia Valdez, Future Prez. If you have read this book, great. I hope you still love it, even after I read it too. Sorry, I'm trying to move things all around the screen. I actually had this book in a set and hadn't read it until I was covering Miss, who was I covering? I was covering Miss Martinez's class, and she had it out for STAR, and I read it, and I was thought of you guys, honestly. So if you will, somebody is banging on my door, even though it has a sign on it. Okay, here we go. All right. Sophia was a baby who got things done, helping her family before she turned 1. She and Abuelo went out every week to help elderly friends around Blue River Creek who couldn't get out and about on their own and with no place to gather were stuck home alone. Hold on. Sorry. I kept ringing the doorbell. Okay. Raking the leaves, taking pets for a walk, or just dropping by for a treat and a talk. Sophia Valdez did as much as she could for her family and friends and her whole neighborhood. A dreamer, a doer, a real life go-getter. Most people like good, but Sophia liked better. Each morning, Abuelo walked Sophie to class. They walked home again along Blue River Pass, making plans, munching cookies, Abuelo and girl, except for that Tuesday when Pup saw a squirrel. With a howl, Pup took off racing all through the town, over, under, beneath, and around. Sophia scrambled to try to keep up with the hollering man and the bellowing Pup. Up the squirrel ran to the top of a hill made of leftover junk for the local landfill. They reached the tip top of that mountain of trash which jiggled and broke with an ear-splitting crash. Ouch, cried Abuelo. He struggled to stand. A dangerous mess, he said, grasping her hand. The next day, Sophia walked to school solo, but it wasn't the same without her abuelo. This is not right, declared young Sophia, who glared at Mount Trashmore. and got an idea. The very next morning, at 1/2 past dawn, she planted a sign at the front of the lawn. She stood back and smiled, and Pup gave a bark. Get rid of Mount Trashmore. Let's build a new park. Each of her neighbors had something to say about benches and fountains and places to play, meeting spots, gardens, a basket for bees, a rubber duck pond, and a kiosk for cheese. She drew every thought on her map of the park, which was perfectly perfect by the quarter till dark. She drifted to sleep in her soft, cozy bed. Then, bam! She woke up when a thought smacked her head. Her heart skipped a beat as she realized each one of her neighbors had said, "Let me know when it's done." They all thought Sophia could build it alone. But how could one girl do so much on her own? The weight of that thought made her tender heart ache, and as night thunder growled and she lay wide awake, when dawn brought a storm and the gloomy sky swept, and the heartsick Sophia finally slept. Abuelo baked cookies when Sophie got up. He gave her a bagful and sneaked one to Pup. He blinked back a tear as he hugged his Sophia. "For courage," he whispered. "Te amo, mi vida." Sophia's knees wobbled. She felt weak inside. She looked at his ankle and quite nearly cried. Though she didn't feel brave or courageous at all, Sophia Valdez went to face City Hall. Very imposing building there, and there's Sophia at the bottom of the steps. That statue is Ida B. Wells, who was an activist who wanted to make change as well. The mayor's office sent her to room 401, the Blue River Creek Department of Fun, which sent her downstairs to room 302, the Office of Duck Ponds and Cool Things to Do, to the Office of Monkeys, the Department of Cheese, a division of fountains and meetings and bees, then down to the basement, so musty and cramped, where all the town's papers were sorted and stamped, and that's where the clerk said what no one else did. "You can't build a park. You're only a kid." The words smacked Sophia down deep in her heart. Her plan was kiboshed before it could start. I think," said Sophia, "I think that law's wrong." But her second-grade voice didn't sound very strong. The clerk said, "Clearly it cannot be done. Do you have any questions?" Sophia said, "One, if you were me, and if I was you, and if he was your grandpa, what would you do?" Well," said the clerk. And then she said nothing at all. She thought and she thought. Then she sent out a call to every employee throughout City Hall. The entire government of Blue River Creek crammed into the office to hear Sophie speak. But her words jumbled up, and her cheeks turned bright red, and a dozen emotions rushed into her head, and her heart beat so loud she thought it would crack. The crowd leaned in closer. Sophia leaned back. Then her arm brushed the edge of the old cookie sack. And that was the moment when Sophia first knew being brave means doing the thing you must do, though your heart cracks with fear, though you're just in grade 2. She took a deep breath, looked the mayor in the eye. Though her knees wobbled, she held her head high. Sophia started talking. She spelled out her plan and why it all mattered and how it began. And once she got rolling, she had lots to say about meeting spots, monkeys, and places to play, and other ideas for things they could do to help the town elders and other folks too. She had thoughts on the library, thoughts on the zoo, and perhaps a way to combine the two. And "All right," cried the mayor. "Go start a petition. If this town wants a new park, we'll form a commission." And so young Sophia got right to work with some help from her family and Pup and the clerk. Then others joined in, not all, but a few, like Miss Lila Greer and the kids in grade 2. That is an allusion that nods back to Iggy Peck Architect. So if you look down here with this kid with the pencil in his ear, that's another book from their series, Iggy Peck Architect, and that's his class. There were hearings and surveys and taxes to figure, then bulldozers, cranes, and a blue bigger digger. They all built that park. That's how it got done, with the hard work of, by, and for everyone. But it began with the dream of one person, just one, who laced up her shoes and then led the way to help Blue River Creek get a new place to play. Now, every evening, long after dark, the town comes together at Citizens Park. They all hold this truth to be self-evident, that Sophia Valdez could grow up to be president. Until then, Sophia, that real-life go-getter, helps Blue River Creek get better and better. So when I was reading this book, when I was in Miss Martinez's class, and I thought of you guys, I thought, that's the point. That's the point of all of this. You guys have a lot of power and vision, and when you're 10 and 11, energy and ideas. And so what I hope that you walk away from after all these town halls is that you actually have a lot of power with your voice. You have a lot of ability. And if you have a great idea, you just need one person like the clerk. You just need one class like Lila Greer's class to make some noise and make a difference. And you guys each have that power. As you head out to your middle school, your high school, your college, and beyond, I hope that you will use your voice. Use your voice to make the world a better place. And always remember our time together on the only year that we have ever or will ever do this, Town Hall Tea, where information is power and kindness is key. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you have a wonderful day. And of course, I'll be seeing you around the hall. Hey, Miss Santallanes' class, it is freezing in here, so bring a jacket.
What do we say, guys? We're not crying. We are not crying. It's allergies. Allergies.
I got a little allergy too.
I know.
Heard that.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you,
appreciate
guys.
you, my friend.
I appreciate all of you so very much. Go have a great day.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm going to send that to you, Miss Rios.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Okay, thanks so much.
Bye. Thank you so much.